Hey there guys, Reckoning here, and welcome to Act 4. I make it in time for class, though not in time for breakfast. The classroom is bathing in the gentle light of the sun. This means that it's going to be intolerably hot in the afternoon. For now, though, it's pleasant. I look at Mishi and Shizune's animated discussion about whatever, Hanako staring out of the classroom window, Muto stumbling into the classroom 4 minutes late with no recollection of what he's supposed to be teaching today. I could never imagine dropping out of school just like that, even if it's only for a few weeks. On the other hand, Ren doesn't seem to have a problem with the idea, or going through with it. Then again, somehow I got caught along in her insane isolation, even if we ended up hurting each other. Or did we? Maybe only I got hurt. It takes me until late in the afternoon to realize that today is Monday. The art club meets today. Not just that, due to the exams, this will be the last art club meeting before summer vacation. Without Ren, it feels pretty pointless to go there, but I want to talk to the teacher. The meeting itself isn't noteworthy, just as my skills with watercolors are not worth mentioning. Namiya tries to Namiya tries to encourage and advise me without sounding too condescending, but he's not doing a very good job of it. If nothing else, joining the art club has taught me that I like art. It would be nice if I could actually try and make some art in the art club, though. After the fruits of everyone's labor has been piled into a neat stack on the teacher's desk, he clears his throat to give a little speech. That's it for this trimester, everyone. His voice is pretty loud and way too enthusiastic for it to be genuine. The next meeting is after summer vacations on the Monday of the first week of next term. I hope to see everyone there again. Have a nice vacation. Everyone wishes him a nice vacation back as they file out the door. I stay behind, waiting until the two of us are alone. It's almost dinner time, so I don't have to wait long. Nami is looking through the paintings, some of which are actually pretty nice. Ren might outclass everyone else in the art club, but she isn't the only one with talent. Excuse me, teacher. What is it, Nakai? He raises his eyebrows questioningly, smiling widely. It's about Ren. Oh? Is something wrong with Tezuka? No, but... I hesitate for a split second, not certain how to say what I want to say, giving Namiya enough time to start blabbering by himself. I saw her a few days ago when I was passing by Sei's gallery. She said she'd get 1 or 2 more paintings done for the exhibition. I was quite pleased. She's a surprisingly hard worker. I always thought she was a bit lazy, doing what she wants instead of the assignments. He seems to notice my anxiety and realizes he is digressing, shutting up before finishing the thought. Ah, but you had something to talk about. What is it? I don't know, she feels detached from everything, as if she can't think of anything but the exhibition. Well, isn't that good? She's focused on her painting, as she should be. Yeah, but this is different. It's like she's obsessed. I went to see her, and... Have you been bothering her? He cuts in before I finish saying what I meant to say, instantly looking quite irritated. No, I don't think so. I'm just concerned because she stopped coming to school completely. She feels strange, too. Stranger than usual, at the very least. Humbug! This is much more important for her than some lousy math class or physics or whatever. This is exactly why this school is so flexible, to give every student a chance to fulfill themselves. Tezuka is a painter, so she should paint, no? And have exhibition. That's what artists do. She should be allowed to concentrate on that, not these other frivolous classes. She should be encouraged. If you think about it, it's really quite obvious. His counter-arguments are not very convincing, but I'm having a hard time trying to make any kind of rebuttal. My grudging silence is interpreted as assent, and Namiya turns to shuffle the stack of turned-in assignments on his desk like a deck of cards. I have to say, while we're talking about Tezuka's exhibition, I'm very excited to see how it turns out. So am I, Namiya. So am I. She's still so young, yet has such wonderful skill and style. He's talking to the air to relax the mood that got a bit too negative. I take it that you will be attending? Yeah, I guess so. Well, we'll meet there next. I take that as my cue to leave, and I do, although I'm not happy about it. My message didn't get through, to say the least. The day after that, all the missed opportunities and things I should have said coming crashing down on me. There's nothing left to do afterward but brood. Second day. I begin to feel anxious. I start doubting my doubt and feel stupid, especially since I still can't think about anything else but Ren. Third day. Japanese exam and world history exam. Great. The thing I hate most about her is that she can make me feel this awful even though I should be focusing on entirely different stuff right now. Fourth day. Math exam. We have a math exam. It goes how it goes. I don't care. Fifth day. Namiya asked me again if I will attend the exhibition opening. I can't say no to him even though I seriously want to. I just don't want to discuss with him anything Ren related, so it's better to just take the path of least resistance. On the sixth day... Oh no. It just hit me what scene this is. Fuck. On the sixth day, the day before the exhibition opening, I find Ren standing in the hallway in front of her room when I return to the dorms after dinner. What are you doing here? My tone is angrier than I intended. Oh. Actually, I don't know how to make that any angrier. Damn. My tone is angrier than I intended. I'm a little disappointed that I was unable to restrain myself, but it can't be helped. Ren just stands there like she just happened to coincidentally be standing around here where she has no business being. The way she reacts so coolly to everything annoys me now. This is not good. It's been 6 days and the sight of her has me boiling. She hasn't even opened her mouth yet. Finished painting. Shouldn't you be at the gallery? Preparing? They said no. I guess the gallery owner does that part then, getting the paintings framed, hung on the walls and whatnot. So, why are you here? Felt like it. The same old stupid pattern emerges again. Me asking her questions to which she replies with answers that don't answer anything, because it's the only other way we can converse. Apart from me listening to her blabbering about whatever, which isn't really a conversation. Is this a play? Are there some unseen roles that we've unknowingly set ourselves into, dictating the rules of engagement whenever we see each other, inevitably leading us to hurting each other? Her nonchalant answers, accompanied by even more nonchalant shrugs, leave me none the wiser. I guess I should be happy that the exhibition preparations are complete. When I walk into my room, I hear her footsteps following me in. I didn't invite her in. I won't ask her to leave. She claims my bed without asking permission, making me wish that I had taken the time to make it before I left in the morning, then stands up again as though she sat on hot coals. I half lean against the single corner of my desktop that isn't cluttered with stuff to rest my legs at least a little bit. Ren spends a few moments glancing curiously around my room. It makes me realize that she's never seen it before. For a moment, she actually looks like she's concentrating, trying to get everything. This must be the eye for detail that makes her an artist. Since the room is small, she quickly runs out of things to look at, but nothing else transpires, allowing the uncomfortable silence to take over the atmosphere. The mood is chilly, to say the least, and both of us are on guard, waiting for the other to make the first move. Of course, Ren could play this game forever, so it has to be me. So, I give up because she'd never try to open conversation, because it seems that she wants to say something and I want to get it over with. Why else would she be here if she didn't want to talk? I don't know what to say myself. I want to be angry, but I can't bring myself to yell at her or anything. My voice catches her attention and she tries to search for words as well, but it seems that she's not entirely certain as to why she's here either. And so, Ren simply takes a few steps to close the distance between us and rises on the tips of her toes to even out the height difference. It was a bad idea. Maybe you should forget about it and I will too. It's a reflex, and almost as an afterthought, the words no, yes, and maybe simultaneously surface inside my mind. My hand is between her lips and mine, a wall that I raise to guard against something. Her breath feels warm against my fingers. The scent of her skin lingers about, the mysterious, indescribable sensation that captures me and draws my eyes deep into hers. The look in her eyes is surprise, quizzical as to why the impertinent hand prevented her advances. Her eyes are really big and glistening with moisture, and staring right into my own with a soft gaze that I'm having a hard time to match. Ren's half-open mouth makes her look even more confused, although the sensual way her lips are arching is signaling something completely different. Please. I need you. The words come from her throat as a coarse whisper meant only for me, bypassing her tongue and teeth without giving them any chance to interrupt. They sober me in an instant, and I clumsily flinch back to get a little bit of distance between us, painfully scraping against my desk in the process. Maybe it's her choice of words. Maybe the way she says it, but something in it puts me off. Something's wrong. Something is terribly wrong again. Needed for what? All the unpleasant feelings emerge again, and I feel my heartbeat suddenly increasing at least tenfold. Ren's eyes go out of focus and back again as her body relaxes from its tense state, and she stands upright again. I don't think I was thinking about anything. Why do you draw patterns in that dust on your night table? There's a word for that kind of thing, but I can't remember. Her remark almost throws me off track, and I glance over her shoulder at the small table next to my bed, but I can't see anything from this distance. So she needs me for nothing specific? Just happened to come by because she thought I'd be glad to see her after she shut me out, no complaints accepted for a week? Completely altruistic motives? Felt like it? Bullshit, I can answer myself. To play mind games with whenever you want, to kiss whenever you want, to ignore whenever you want, to fulfill your whims whenever you want. Is that it? What you need me for? My voice is sounding very angry again, even to myself. Good. Ren, too, finally catches the mood, and her curious expression changes instantly to something more uncharacteristic. No. She leaves it at that, her eyes restlessly wandering around, searching the room as if the words she tries to find were written in the tapestries of my walls. Then what? I needed to paint. And the music cuts off. Paint. Of course. That's what artists do. The words reverberate through my being, beating in my blood over the piercing whistle of my anger. Alright, let's see how well I can nail this. Don't give me that, Ren! I'm not some damn muse of yours free to play with for the sake of painting. I'm not some medium for what you aspire to. I'm me! So what if I don't know anything about my future? There's things I want, things I care about. Even I could dream of things other than nightmares. I'm yelling, but I'm way past the point of caring about things like that. Ren looks down at her toes and wiggles them a little melancholically while she takes in my outburst without saying anything to defend herself. Only after I finish does she try to respond somehow. I can't do anything else, or I can do all sorts of things, but I can't do. It's the only thing I sort of do properly, most of the time. I understand completely. Art first, everything second, or thousandth. What about me? Am I nothing? I was interested in art. Did that make you feel like I was a little interesting for a little while? Tell me, I really want to know. Did you ever think about my perspective, or is it just all you? The words rise like bile in my throat. She looks alarmed, and almost completely uncomprehendingly, as if she just doesn't understand what I'm angry about. Can't believe she would be so stupid. I could. I didn't want to. This time it's Ren who interrupts herself in mid-sentence. Don't you understand? I can't. Can't what? You never explain. How am I supposed to understand anything if you never say anything? Why don't you ever talk? Say something! But she doesn't. Venting my anger at her feels satisfying. It feels wrong to take so much satisfaction in it, but I can't stop. Not wanting to face my anger head on, Ren turns around to steadfastly look out of my window even though there's nothing to look at. The worst of my ire gone, I shut up as I can't be bothered to keep on yelling at the back of her head, so silence finally returns. I try to discern some hints of a reaction through my adrenaline-distorted vision. My feedback was not the best kind, but I hope Ren got the clue that she just can't ignore everything else whenever she feels like it. I'd hate it if she didn't. She never ever listens to anything, so she's so unaffected by the world around her. Not this time, it seems. Her body is shaking like from holding back tears, but I already know that Ren is not crying. Her indifference made me furious. Now that it's gone, I'm at a loss. I wonder. Did I go too far? Look, Go away. Go away, hiss out. Her voice is tiny and tired as she says this, but I hear the words clear as day. What is there to say anymore? This is my room. The blunt, hollow remark is a fitting conclusion for this unpleasant discussion that became an even more unpleasant and very one-sided yelling match. After a moment of collecting herself, Ren just gives up. I can see it from the way she slumps her shoulders and walks out. Even though she deliberately looks to the other direction, I can see how she's biting the corner of her lip so hard it might start bleeding if she won't stop. As she makes her exit, I realize that she left the door open when she came in, and my yelling must have echoed around the dorm hallways. I sigh. Now that she's gone, I'm left alone with my guilt. As the thumping in my chest slowly subdues, anxiety replaces it. Somehow, I feel that none of this would have happened if not for me. No matter how infuriating, unbearable, and outrageous Ren is, she's not the Ren I thought I knew. the Ren that I expected Ren to be. Was it me who caused all this by talking Ren into taking her chances with the exhibition? Am I directly responsible for Ren becoming like she has for the past few weeks? I can't think of any other explanation for her weird behavior than the exhibition and all the things that came along with it. Maybe it was the only way that could have brought us closer, but all it did was separate us further away from each other, and now beyond the reach of either of us. I banged my head hard against the wall. Twice, to make sure it hurts. A headache is relentlessly thumping against the back of my head as I push open the door to the 22nd corner. Apart from that, I'm perfectly calm. After venting on Ren all that anger that I had bottled inside, it felt like a great weight had been lifted from my heart. The tension that had grasped my mind for the past few weeks faded away without leaving even a shadow behind. In this nearly zen-like state of enlightenment, I realized that perhaps it was a bad idea to yell at her like that. I really meant it, but what good does blowing up like that do? Nothing. I'm not like that. I don't normally yell at people. I don't know why I did yesterday. So I keep feeling really guilty about it and wanted to take my words back. Ren's probably upset too. Even more than my own behavior, her reaction shocked me. I've always thought of her as unchanging, detached from her surroundings, so that seeing my yelling at her get her so upset felt out of place. What if she understands how I feel? In Ren's world, everything seems to be so absolute and subjective. Absolutely subjective. As if she was completely unable to see things from other points of view than our own. But ultimately, is anyone able to do it? Maybe objectivity and altruism are just illusions for people who like to think of themselves as compassionate. Just like art is an illusion for people who think reality is merely a veil for something greater. Even when you stop thinking like that, even when you stop thinking that the world revolves around you or start thinking outside the mythical box, you're just inside another bigger box that you can't escape. Maybe that ultimately makes you like the rest of us. I stepped through the door to find a gallery full of illusioned people. Despite Say's remarks during my earlier visits, I always thought it was very spacious, but now when it's crowded like this, it looks positively cramped. I immediately noticed Say standing in the middle of a lively discussion, busily chattering with some old gentleman. She's actually pretty tall and kind of cool looking, so she stands out in the crowd. There are a few dozen wine glasses laid on the tables along the back wall, filled with burgundy liquid. The vast majority of the guests are sipping from their own glasses. The socialites and art connoisseurs are mingling happily, exchanging mild opinions about Ren's art, which seems to be a secondary object of interest for most. I feel distanced, excluded from the other people here. I can't claim even at a stretch to be a social chameleon, so this situation is quite unnerving. Since I don't blend into the crowd at all, I just fake that I do, trying to look as cool and smooth as I can. I wonder how Ren is handling all this. If it was me, I would be quite freaked out. Throwing the anxiety aside, I try to carefully navigate through the crowd, stealing peeks at the framed paintings now hanging on the walls. Ren's exhibition takes about half of the gallery's wall space. Some paintings are less familiar than others, but I recognize most of them. Some I've seen being created at club meetings after all, or remember from the time when Ren was choosing her portfolio. I note that a couple of the unfinished paintings are framed on the wall as well. Maybe that's what they call coincidental art? Even Ren's failures, if you can call them that, became exhibits of her skill. Quite paradoxical. She herself is nowhere to be seen, which is strange because even though it's crowded, the gallery is pretty small. It's fine, sort of. I don't know how to face her after yesterday. Maybe I shouldn't have even come. But I promised various people, Ren included, that I would, so... Damn. Sounds like the things I do the things I do because some kind of instinctual properties compels me to, not because it would be sensible, or not. I sneak closer to Say to wait for a lull in the conversation so I can chat her up too. Even though her voice is almost completely buried under the general background noise, I hear bits and pieces of her talking about Ren. Yeah, she's a high schooler at a local school. Even though she's graduating next year, I'm sure various art schools should be interested in her. I thought it'd be interesting to have an exhibition of someone who's still in early stages of development. It's strange, it's like Ren is some kind of mini-celebrity, even though this is nothing but a small exhibition opening in a small art gallery of a small town. In fact, there's a friend of mine from... It's Asao! My eavesdropping is interrupted by a familiar voice and a familiar slap to the back. I don't need to guess the source of either, even without turning around. Hi, Emmy. Hi, are you like a representative of the art club or something? I don't see anyone from the school here. I don't know, really. I guess I am, if that's the case. What about you? What about me? You didn't think that I'm interested in art. Is that a hit, Sal? No, that's not what well, maybe a little, if you put it that way. I mean, even though you hang out with Ren, I've never heard you talk about art with her, so... Emmy huffs and looks around her, looking discontented. It's true, I don't get it at all. She came to my track meet, so I thought it was only fair to return the favor. She leans closer, trying to look confidential, but only managing to look inspiring. Do you get art? No, I don't. At all. My emphasizing headshake draws a giggle and a cheery headshake of her own at Emmy. Me neither. Hey, let's go talk with Ren. I bet you haven't yet, because I haven't either. Come on. Before she has a chance to forcefully drag me to Ren, Namiya appears behind her with Ren in his tow. She's not dressed for the occasion, instead opting for the usual school uniform and unkempt hair. Maybe her natural look is what suits her the best. Hello, teacher. Hi, Ren. Unfazed, Emmy greets the teacher cheerfully, causing him to turn around and look down confusedly. Who are you? I'm Emmy from Class 3-4. Don't you remember? She looks positively shocked at the prospect that there could be a person who doesn't know her. Oh, sorry, you're in the same class as Tsuke is, right? Yeah. You'll have to pardon me, I have trouble remembering students who don't take art. Don't mind. Hi, Ren. Hello. Congratulations for your super cool art thing. I'm sure you'll be a big hit. She throws her arms into the air with boisterous emphasis, almost hitting me in the face. Look, Asao came too. Ren doesn't look at me, nor does she greet me. Congratulations, Ren. She keeps averting her gaze, pointedly looking at her sandals. Oblivious to the tension between us and ignorant of what happened yesterday, Emmy keeps on blabbering about this and that to an unresponsive Ren. I guess she's used to not getting much out of her at times. Before long, Namiya and Sei turn to Ren, introducing her. Expecting it, I catch the second of confusion when the guests see her arms. Sei is luckily on the ball and briefly explains about our school. Doubtful faces quickly change to curious. Would you mind telling us something about your art? I thought the development is quite easily noticeable. What do you think? What do you yourself think of the differences between the older and more current works? It's quite rare for someone so young to dabble into abstraction. It would have been interesting to see how you work. Oh, definitely. I assume you use your feet. Must have been a great trouble to learn it. You should be proud. Will you be pursuing a career as an artist after school? She's bombarded with so many questions she can't even hope to answer all of them. Maybe that's for the best. Ren tends to talk nonsense more than occasionally. So where do you get your ideas? That's fifth worst. Ren keeps stumbling with the words, looking more and more vexed by the expectant inquirers. Everyone's waiting for her to say something, but she looks like a cat got a tongue. Each question piling up just adds to her distress. I failed to hear the question that is the proverbial one too many. It's like a motor stalling. Ren just freezes for a long second until she falls on her knees, hitting the floor ungracefully like a sack of potatoes. Are you alright? I don't know. Tezuka, what's wrong, girl? I don't know what's wrong. A terrible silence falls upon the people gathered around Ren. Everyone's petrified, not knowing how to react to her sudden seizure or something. She breathes with deep trembling gasps as if she was running out of air, staring ahead of herself with hollow eyes. Seeing that nobody does nothing, I force myself to step to Ren and lift her up from the floor, letting her lean against me to keep standing. Would you like to get some fresh air? Okay, let's go outside for a bit. I don't even wait for her to answer before grasping her shoulder and pulling her past the stunned-looking Namiya, Sei, Emmy, and guests. Excuse us. The cool evening breeze hits my face at the door. I let go of Ren and she leans against the stone wall, trying to catch breath. Are you alright? I couldn't say anything. Ren is still not looking at me, so I look away too. The streetlights and colored neon signs twist my vision into a blur of near blindness, forcing me to look back. At least she talks, even if she's not directing words to me. What did you want to say? Maybe both of us can imagine they were talking to an invisible friend. I don't know. Something that would have meant something. The silence lasts for a long time. I don't feel comfortable being alone with Ren. I'm not good at imagining things that don't exist. I'm not good at imagining things that don't exist, or things that exist don't. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I just probably put the wrong emphasis around. It's fine. We should go back in. The guests say I invited her in there. They probably wanted to meet you and talk with you. You know, asking questions and stuff about those paintings you worked so hard for. I don't want them to ask me questions like that. I can never say the right things. What do you want then? That someone wouldn't have to ask questions from me. No. Neutral end. Good end. But if you found something like that, then what? You really think that it'd be some kind of end-all, be-all, end-all, star-crossed lovers and happily ever after? My question is met with a blank stare, the darkness in her eyes unfazed by the thinly veiled bitterness. No, I don't think that. At least then I wouldn't have to be alone. She whispers the words to the lights of the town, but I hear them anyway. I shouldn't have done this. Not yet. An exhibition? She nods and closes her eyes, breathing calmly out to prove she can, and then continues talking to herself. Why? Wrong conjunction of the planets? No, not that. I double-checked, and I got up with the left foot, and then everything else right. It's me. I was wrong. She stands straight and stretches before stepping past me out into the street. Wait, where are you going? She stops on her tracks and turns around, looking at me quizzically. School. I'm leaving. What? Why? Because I want to be me. Ren walks off, leaving me behind utterly confused. Ren! It's something she said really touched me. Maybe it was the way she said it. Maybe it was the fact that she said it. I want to say something back to her, but I forget this feeling before I forget this feeling again. As if granting me a wish, Ren stops in her tracks. She doesn't turn around, just keeps waiting for me to say what I want to, even though I didn't have time to think what. Ren, listen, I don't believe you have to be alone, even if you never meet anyone like that. I don't know if she heard my words, but either way, she doesn't react in any way. For the final time, she starts walking away from the gallery. So, where's Tezuka? I can only shake my head, but as it doesn't seem to be a sufficient answer, I have to say something. She ran away. What? The horrific realization spreads on his face like wildfire. This is a fiasco. Catastrophe. What is that girl thinking? The most important event of her life, and just runs off? And you, why didn't you stop her? I'm going to hold you personally responsible. Sei interrupts him, holding her hand so calmingly. As could she intervene, the teacher was starting to get a few weird looks from the nearby guests. Now, Shinichi, she probably just had stage fright. I don't know her as well as you people do, but I did get the image that she's somewhat peculiar. This kind of thing can happen. It'll be fine. I'll explain that she suddenly became ill. The guests will surely understand. But look around you. Everyone seems to be rather happy with their free wine and chit-chat. The guests will be fine, but we're missing on opportunities here. Networking, making contacts and acquaintances. As the adults keep arguing about something that can't be helped, Emmy tugs my sleeve to get my attention. She doesn't look very happy either. Come on. Where? We're going to find Ren and kick her ass. What? I can't believe it. She's so stupid. That Ren, how can she do this? I'm telling you, she doesn't have a bit of common sense in her head. Emmy is seriously angry, only missing steam rising from her ears. I guess I can understand Emmy. She is that kind of person. Give up has never felt like a part of her vocabulary, and maybe she feels it shouldn't be a part of anyone's vocabulary. It's probably best to leave her alone for the night. What? You're a Ren expert now? She takes a firm stance and puts her hands on her hips confrontationally. It's like she wants to pick a fight with me too. No, I don't think that's even possible in the first place. I just don't think kicking her ass would do her any good. My melancholic remark surprisingly works as Emmy slumps her shoulders a little on size. I know that. You do? Last time I did that, it changed nothing. The ride back to school in an empty late-night bus is silent. Both of us keep staring at the lights flashing past the windows without saying a word. The nightly grounds are quiet, lit only by the it might be wane, moon, and yellow lampposts. We say our goodnights in front of my dormitory. Every reflexive tightly clenching her fist, compels me to ensure that she won't assault Ren the moment I let her out of my sight. Promise me to not go scold her? She looks up at me, her eyes again flaring with anger that I match with as calming a stare as I can. It's only easy to face an angry woman if you were not the target of her ire. After a minute of the mismatched staring contest, she sighs and shakes her head in defeat. You are too nice, Asao. Did you know that? Hints of a smile are tugging in the corners of her mouth as she says that, and she seems a lot more relaxed. What a sudden change of mood. Maybe she wasn't as angry as it seemed to begin with. Maybe her moods change easily. If I was, I would have let you have your way. Does that mean you're only nice to Ren? Both of us are hiding our concern behind empty jokes, but at least she puts me in a good mood. Amy waggles her eyebrows with a half-amused smirk, trying to push my buttons. Not gonna work. No, it just means I'm not nice only to you. Hey! Right, Amy. So that'll just about do it for this episode. So stick around for the next one where we go through, I believe, the next probably 3 scenes. It's kind of surprising how short this arc is and how quickly I got done with it. But you're probably wondering why we're not actually leaving off on a scene just ending off on a black screen. Well, that's because of how I recorded this. It's no big deal. Trust me. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.